as I start everything. Okay, it's starting and I'm cutting over. Now you're live.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Oh my gosh, it's hard to believe it's Sunday night again. I kind of got lost midweek. There were a few days that merged into each other. Um, I'm part of the JC Writers Jersey Plums group, and one of my fellow writers, Herbert Plummer, is going to be doing some poetry with us today. Um, so I know that we've got a poem of day coming in. It's a really great group to join and be a part of. And my songwriter friends from Second Sunday Songwriters, but now we're Sunday Songwriters in the round. So I'm going to kick us off, and I'll do a song while my new friend Marcy is getting herself set up.
I'm here.
There she is.
I'm here.
Hey, Marcy, how's it going?
It's awesome. I'm covering my piano with a blanket so that we can. It won't be such a beast for our dear tech friend who's kind enough to run the sound for us tonight.
Yeah. So we're streaming out live now. Are we also on Facebook now, James? Oh, we're everywhere. All right. So I'm trying to mute Marcy.
I can do all the muting if you want.
Yeah, why don't you mute everybody?
Yeah, everyone's
okay. Fine. All right. So I'm going to start off with a song from the new album called Dreaming 3 into 1. And there's actually an illustration that goes with this and doing a lyric book. But this was a song, I was asleep and there was some music happening in the car radio and in my dream. And I thought to myself, wow, that's a nice song. How come I can't write something like that? And then I thought to myself, I think I'm asleep. I think I am writing something like that. So I woke up and I got the feeling, the chord structure down, and then I went back to sleep. So on the thin line of dawn, just between the gray and gold, silver chimes ring their tones clear and strong. 3 echoes now unfold in rhyme. Mama, Papa, baby are still sleeping here. Daylight's halo dancing on our skin. Feel the flowers open to the tender glow. Dreams pour out as wishes wander in. Feel the moments expand and unwind, flying us up to the sun. Worlds have been traveled from deep in our minds. Dreaming, we 3 into 1. Into 1. He is talking on the phone. I am driving in a car. She's at school, only 3 pillows apart as the breezes whisper in. Gravity with no rules. Mama, Papa, baby are still sleeping now. sunlight's halo dancing on our skin. Feel the flowers open to the tender glow. Dreams pour out as wishes wandering. Feel the moments expand and unwind, flying us up to the sun. Worlds have been traveled from deep in our minds, dreaming we three into one. Dreaming three into one. Gravity, sun. Dreaming three into one. Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
So I guess that was a sound check, right? Everything sounded, you could hear the harmonics and the strumming.
Yeah.
So have you ever come up with a song when you were asleep, Marcy?
I'm sure that I have. I always have that the thing that a lot of artists talk about, where you like get woken up in the middle of the night because you have this is the best song I've ever had, and it's so, but I'm really tired. I'll remember it in the morning. And then I never remember it. But I do think that sometimes when I write and it feels like, oh, I'm just channeling from the ethers, I think it's something in the recesses of my subconscious that I probably wrote before, and it feels new now, you know?
Right. Now you write a lot and you publish a lot, and we met at one of the afternoon sync cafes that have been going on every day.
Yeah.
They're really good to join, Songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mark Freezer from Sync Summit came to a bunch of our Second Sunday Songwriter events, and I've sent you all emails about this. You should definitely hop on there.
Yeah.
So Marcy, you have a lot of success getting music out there.
Thank you. That's really sweet to say. It's funny because I think that for me personally, that songwriting was my first inclination, even though my parents tell me that when I was a baby, like as soon as music came on, I would be excited and I would do the twist sitting, you know. But when I got my first instrument, you know, where most kids I think try to figure out songs on the radio, I just had this confidence about me. I'm like, oh, I could do that. I could write songs, you know. So
why don't you play us a song?
Okay, why not?
Oh, and I see, before you start, I see, Frank Ippolito is here. Let's see, our Herbert Plummer, who's our poet, not our pummet, our poet. So we've got, hey, Frank. All right. So Marcy, go ahead, take it away. We'll mute everybody but Marcy.
Okay. I have to remember to dampen the pedal on the piano so it doesn't override everything. Open eyes before run, slides your hand across the bed, but he's already stumbled across the lightless room, dozen ways to lift herself above the cloud that blocks her view. Then she finds shadows raised by stars, bargains with prices and vices, long sleeves and hide on your soul. Checks her leg before she leaves. Wipes the stream of blood that cuts across her cheek with her hand. Perfect smile, racing heart. Until real and then it starts to pull her down below the ground. Then the moment she finds treasures by stars, now such frequent swings and sings played on the stars. Are we still here? It all of a sudden went black. Should I keep going? Am I still here? Do you guys still? Oh, there I am.
Never stop.
Yeah, sometimes it's okay. It's a dramatic pause. Shadows in her hair, like dog scratches don't be then. She knows it's easier to get it. Then in a moment she finds shadows placed by skies, forgetting verses and voices on sleeves laid over the skies. Then when she finds shadows placed by stars, forgetting voices and voices on sleeves laid over the skies.
Wow. We gotta, that I could hear the song, but not as clearly as I would like to have. It was gorgeous. I mean, the chords are so beautiful, and your counterpoint melody against the chords.
Thank you.
It sounds like you do that little songwriter trick of having 10 notes being played, but somehow you're singing a note that isn't being played by your hands. Right?
And you know what? It's not intentional. Honestly, like people are always like, what's your writing process? And I'm like, my writing process is I'm in the middle of running and I'm 3 miles from my house and an idea comes and I sing it into my iPhone, and then I race home and figure out the chords. And then I have like a million happy accidents, as I call them, and boom, there's a song,
Yeah. Well, when you do that thing, I do that too, where you're playing a chord and you're singing a note that's not in that chord. It's a way to sing harmony with yourself.
I think that I tend to do that naturally, and it's funny for 2 reasons. One, because I worked with a harmony group a few years back, and they're like, that note isn't in the chord, and I'm like, I know, I love it. And secondly, like, I think that like my first foundation of musical training was like watching the Partridge Family every Friday night, and I remember like I was really little, and my mom would say, oh, come sing for company, and they put on a Partridge Family album because they knew I liked it, and I wouldn't sing the leads, I would sing the harmony, and my mom would be like, no, sing the part that the main person is singing. I'm like, oh no, the little kids don't sing that part. So
Yeah. So, what I want us to do is the next time you sing, I want you
Mhm.
to move the mic back up to where it was above you before. I think it'll catch your voice a little bit better.
Okay.
Um, and you said that you're down to 9 on your amp.
I'm at 9 o'clock. I can make it lower if you want.
No, we weren't getting enough of your voice.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it back up again.
All right. So we'll mute Marcy. I'm gonna sing another song from the new album called Mary. And oh my gosh. Oh, Sybil's here. Narupa is here. Wow. Hi, Narupa. Hey. And
Hi, Carol.
hi, how's it going?
Fantastic. You look great.
Oh, thank you. You'll do a poem for us later too, right?
What? No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you got to get ready. You got to get ready.
How about
so-
next time?
All right. Okay. So this song is called Mary, and Peter produced this song, Peter Moffat. So there's cello in it and some piano, but I wrote it. It's about a decade in a girl's life, a young teen, a young woman, a slightly older woman. And here we go. Deep in the night, Mary opens her eyes and she's not sure that she's dreaming. She can't hear the clock strike through silvery chains of dew and quicksand's faded meaning. Mary's all grown. She's kept pretty much in full control. Who's that whispering on the breeze, asking, please, Mary, please? Mary remembers when bedtime was early and other kids' voices played outside. She'd stretch like a starfish queen, get rescued by true love's dream, and sail her mattress across high tide. Her best friend moves away. But what's lost fades into each new day's play. And Mary can make the summer last like a never-ending breeze. When she says, pretty please, she is dancing in the breeze, asking, pretty please. Mary was 15 when she woke to the call of men and cast them into orbiting to circle her shining eyes and perfume of butterflies. At 20 she slept where she would and when. Well, Mary's body had a woman's lines, but her mind is still in summertime, and her heart is flying far behind from a kite string on the breeze, asking please. She is tangled in the trees, begging please. And what is she longing for if the thrill is not enough but to climb through her heart and soar and believe in love? Mary's searching far and wide for shelter from the storm. night, Mary opens her eyes and she's not sure that she's dreaming. She's soloing midnight shift and the kids' voices are on the drift. What has been the meaning? Oh, well, Mary's body needs its rest. Oh, but her mind is making tomorrow's list. Ah, and her heart is filling with what is, 'cause what will never be still whispers on the breeze. Count your blessings one by one and let them lay you down. Mary, please. Mary, please. Mary, please. Mary, please. Mary, please.
Twice.
That was never about the money thing.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Thank you so much. So, James, I might have been hearing you typing during that. I'm not sure. Thank you. So, when I used to sing that out live, everyone thought it ended with her having a baby and people would start applauding. And then I was like, no, we're still not happy. It's like there's another there's another verse coming.
Yeah. I did not go there.
Yeah, everybody clapped. They're like, oh, what's the rest of it? That was like the happy ending. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So Marcy, let's do like about 10 seconds of something so we can adjust you.
Okay, well, I turned the piano all the way. I went into the other room and turned the piano down, but I figured I'd do a guitar song just
Okay.
to see if that makes things a little bit easier.
Sounds good.
Let's try this. Joyous sorrow's little sister. She is small in stature, but she's mighty. And don't you doubt her, 'cause she won't let you down when trouble changes your stride. Joy is anger's little sister. She is far more subtle and she's steady. While anger thrashes, joy will slow you down so you can find the space to breathe. And joy may hide during danger, but remember she's always within. Just take a moment and invite her. She is brighter than the darkest day. Joy is fear's little sister. She can turn a chill into delight. And she'll dance with rhythm where heartbeats and flash her cheeks rosy bright. Joy is sorrow's little sister. Joy is anger's little sister. Joy is fear's little sister. She is always present if you need her. She is the source that's complete her. Let her shine. Let her shine. Let her shine. Let her shine.
No.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Do you want to do one on the keyboard now too?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see. hopefully it sounds better, because like I said, I went in to the other room and turned the entire like piano volume nearly off.
Right.
So that, so let's see. What shall we do? I'm trying to think if I have like a softer song.
You do have a lot of reverb on the mic.
I do.
Yeah.
I could turn it off. It's just that I. Is it okay when I'm singing that? Today I feel lighter, darkness has gone. Things might get better. No, I was strong. I hung up my anger like an out of style tracks. Served me at one time, but now I need less. This body keeps on me against my mind's protest. 'Cause I serve the undertow. I serve the undertow. I serve the undertow against your good advice. I called upon angels to lend me a hand, hold on to something when I couldn't stand. Spend time chasing secrets and time chasing lies. What was the anchor? Now I'm not sure why. 'Cause darkness still can follow me as I dance with regret. 'Cause I serve the undertow. I serve the undertow. I serve the undertow against your good advice. Against your good advice. Today a bit lighter, the silence has breathed. Abandon the chaos, allow me this space. I still respect my fragility. It balances my heart. 'Cause I serve the undertow. I serve the undertow. I serve the undertow against your good advice. I serve the undertow. I serve the undertow. I serve the undertow against your good advice. Against your good advice. Against your good advice. Oh, thank you. And from Facebook, Johnny said lovely and David said awesome. And I don't know if it was about you or me, so I'm thinking it's for both of us.
Yeah. So you work on a lot of music all the time.
Yeah. It's, I've tried to give it up.
Don't give it up.
I've tried to have a normal life. Yeah, I always say it's almost like, for me, people talk about like ADHD, like with attention. And for me, my ADHD, I think, is because I always have music going on. Like even in the middle of a conversation, sometimes I'll go, ooh, that melody just like floated by. And it's like, it's a beautiful thing. It's sometimes an annoying thing because I'm working on being more present in my life and being more present in areas of my life that are not musical, you know, family and friends, because that's so important. But the music is, it's the thing I wake up thinking about. It's the thing I go to sleep thinking about. It's what I think about all day long. If I'm not doing it, I'm missing it. If I'm doing it, it's torturing me, you know. Very healthy relationship. You know?
Another verse in that song.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm going to do another song. And this one is also on the new CD, which came out February 27th, right before all this. And a lot of you were at the party, the CD release party. So I'm glad I had a chance to release it. But now they're living here with me in my house. So, and this song is called Piece of You. And I worked for this woman for a short period of time in the music business. And she was very good at getting people to invest in her recording project. She kind of looked like Michelle Pfeiffer, and she was also a stripper. Anyway, she got a lot of donations, and most of my job was to tell men that she was no longer in the country, but she would talk to them when she got back. So I didn't last that long in that job, but I did get a good song out of it. And one of the verses literally was almost said to me word for word by one of the guys on the phone. So here we go. You had better find yourself someone else to abuse. I won't stand in line this time to be used by you. You don't have to stalk your prey, they fall to your feet willingly and offer up forbidden fruit. You spit them out like a pip. Everybody wants a piece of you, but I don't. Your hands may justify her veins, but I won't. I see you have found yourself someone else to break your fall. What about that man who gave you 50 grand? You won't return his calls. True love, it knocked twice last year. Both times they were bearing power tools. When they finish fixing up your house, you kick them out the door. You don't have to stalk your prey, they fall to your feet willingly and offer up forbidden fruit. You spit them out like a pimp. Everybody wants a piece of you, but I don't. Your hands may justify her veins, but I won't. Everybody wants a piece of you, but I don't. Your hands may justify her veins, but I won't, I know I won't, I won't, no I won't, I know I won't, I know I won't, no I won't,
Yay.
Thank you. I miss my band. Peter Moffat is usually playing jazz fusion piano, going crazy on that. He gets like a 5-minute solo at the end of that song.
No, but it's really cool because I mean I love angry songs. They're like a very natural thing. I love that. I love being able to express the truth and a lot of times like hide it, like what it's really about. Like it's really funny because like I'll write these like "you done me wrong" songs and people will be like, "Is everything okay with you and John?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're fine." It was somebody in the music business, or
Right. Or with somebody in the diner booth next to me.
Yeah.
That's always fun. Hey Herb, do you want to do a poem for us?
Oh, sure. If that's what the people want.
Yay.
Yeah, we're lyricists, so.
All right.
And I know all the people up here are either poets or lyricists or musicians, so absolutely. So this is Herb Plummer. I don't know if we've met live at the Saturday meetings, but online.
Yeah.
I know you've been there. I've been there.
I was a regular attendee in person Saturday at 11 for the poetry group.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we crossed paths at some point there.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do for us today?
Okay, so I picked out 3 poems. I can just read one or whatever you guys like. One of them is a brand new poem that I did as part of the Poem a Day for April that you mentioned. So that is a total rough draft, completely unedited. The other 2 have been revised and are a little bit more polished.
Whatever inspires you, whatever theme you would prefer to speak about is good with us.
All right, cool. So I'll start with one of the polished ones. This is called ABBA, like the band.
Ah.
Okay. I sit in a cafe in Chelsea, a cortado and a book of poetry placed in front of me on a wooden table. Normally, this kind of place plays Stan Getz or Chet Baker or Lester Young. But currently, it's Dancing Queen, splitting my ears like an ambulance stuck in traffic, and there's no escaping it. I can't read a single line. Instead, I drift to blue and gold balloons, tart punch, and grand gestures on the dance floor. The image of my 15-year-old self brooding in a corner, swirling a plastic cup in my hands counterclockwise like a tumbler of bourbon, suffering in my resolution to be adult. No one noticed my polished shoes or the gold bow tie from my father that I feathered in front of the mirror for an hour. It would be years before I learned how to allow joy to unloosen the tied ribbons of pain I protected like a parent. I didn't know why, but I refused to respond to Melissa or Kelly or Courtney, convinced they felt the dramatic tension of my seriousness and maturity. And I sat in silence for the rest of the night, prepared to outlast the stars, having the time of my life.
Very nice.
Wow.
Let's hear another one. That was good.
Thank you.
It was really vivid.
Yeah, I had fun with that one. It's interesting, you start writing a poem and you think it's going to go down a certain road, and then all of a sudden it takes a left or a right turn.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a while in my writing, I tried to get it back to that first road. And then I realized my inner voice was trying to take me in a different direction. So now I've learned to trust that and just go down that other road and let it lead me where it wants to lead me.
Definitely.
Well, I have to say writers are some of my favorite people because I just love people who know what to do with the voices in their head. I like that, So you're not alone. You've got lots of voices going on during quarantine time, right?
Sure. Oh, yeah. But that's the great thing about the poem a day. It reminds me of a book that I'm going through with a separate group called The Artist's Way, Julia Cameron. And one of the things that she suggests is just write 3 pages every morning. And it doesn't even matter what it is. Just get into the habit of flexing that muscle.
Yeah, I wrote my first album. I read her book, and
Cool.
my 3 pages a day 20 years ago turned into my first album.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let's hear another poem.
Okay, sure. So this one is a first draft I wrote 3 days ago. It's nice to share something that is unpolished and kind of raw. And I just kind of let this come out, and, it just is what it is. So, but it's fun to share something that's very recent too. So there's no title. So if anyone has a suggestion, I'm open to a title. So many nights I fell into the bed like it was a grave, bled out like a bouquet of roses left to rot. And every morning I woke into infinity, could not handle its vastness, its freedom, shackled myself to daylight and dishes in the sink. I turned on the shower, soaked my raw back like a slicked whale cresting the air. Steam rose in clouds around my body as I recalled tea kettles singing to my mother during a January frost, and wintry doubled exhales as I walked home from school beside Dmitri, the new foreign exchange student, who explained to me how difficult Russian was to learn. It would take 3 lifetimes, he said. Then I emerged, quivering from the shower, smearing a clear streak on the mirror, enough to see I was still there, naked and dangling, hanging on, holding myself, shivering, shaking myself alive.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe dangling? That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, it occurred to me that image at the end, it's almost like a fetus newly emerged from the womb being held up by a doctor or something. It's neat when you go back and reread, you're like, whoa, where did that come from? Again, just kind of trusting the words as they come out, and then revisiting it later. It's interesting. There's a different voice that's separate from the conscious one that's running all the time. It's further back in the mind.
Yeah.
And I think that's the good stuff. That's the sweet spot.
The brain is an interesting place.
Indeed.
I have access to a small percentage of it. Mine comes with cartoon images. So most of what happens for me, I also see as like a little cartoon playing as well. Hey, James. No, not James. Okay. Yeah, I can see James. Frank, did you want to sing something or show us some artwork or both? Can you hear us, Frank?
He may be muted.
I know. And his video's not on. So Frank Ippolito.
I unmuted Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Did you see my chat? I see your chat.
Yeah, we see
He's been chatting the whole time.
Yeah, he's been just chatting away.
I know, but I wanted to know. So I believe what's on your screen, that's from your new light art installation, right? All right. I'm interviewing Helen Keller. Here we go.
Oh.
I think
he's not set up.
Okay.
But yeah, hopefully Frank will join us, and either later on or we'll feature him another week. I do believe that what you see, Where's Frank? No, we don't see anything from Frank.
Yeah, anyone that's not showing video doesn't appear. You know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, Marcy, why don't you do another song? And Nirupa, did you want to do a poem?
Can I, actually, I came kind of a little unprepared. Is it okay for me to do it next time?
Yes. Yeah.
But I actually have to leave a little bit early today, Carol. I promise.
That's okay. That's okay. So, Marcy, why don't you?
You want me to do something? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is actually pretty new, and it's interesting because I was singing it last week, and I was like, the words have taken on such a different meaning since this whole sheltering at home thing has happened. But interesting the way that happens, the way it morphs in your mind. Anyway, this is called Shine. We're waiting like a tattered old sweater, holding threads instead of knitting together. Somewhere we left the end already, throwing doubts like there's a cage in. I don't need to prove I'm worthy, you don't need to prove me wrong. I can turn the ground to sturdy even when you are just stones you plant the seed of time. But I can clear the clouds, watch me shine. Our story is a cracked mirror, the truth distorted, but the lies are bigger. I like to keep us safe and sound. You just want to burn it all down. I don't need to prove I'm worthy, you don't need to prove me wrong. I can turn the ground to sturdy even when you conjure stones you plant the seed of doubt. But I can clear the clouds, watch me shine. We're holding us back, left you up. We're so off track, isn't that enough? I don't need to prove I'm worthy, you don't need to prove me wrong. I can turn the ground to sturdy even when you conjure stones. I don't need to prove I'm worthy, you don't need to prove me wrong. I can turn the ground to sturdy even when you conjure stones. Plant the seed of doubt, but I can clear the clouds. Yeah, plant the seed of doubt, but I can clear the clouds. Watch me shine. Refrain like a tattered old sweater.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got a lot of poets in the room listening to your words.
My favorite so far.
Oh, really? Thank you. That's the newest one so far. You know, I'll confess that my mom is a poet, and she's actually a sort of known poet. She's the founder and publisher editor of the Meridian Anthology of Contemporary Poetry.
Ah.
So
Oh, wow.
I have a very high bar to live up to. It's like I don't get I don't get away with scrambled egg lyrics. You know, I have to. Oh, thank you very, very much. I can read like parts of things. It shows up for a second on my screen. I'm not using a computer. I'm using an iPad, and so I see little flashes of the chats, and then I have things going here like, oh, I have people waving at us.
Yeah, your lyrics are beautiful.
Well, thank you. It's really funny because people always ask, like, you know, what comes first, like words or music, and for me, I think my natural inclination is music. Like I think I struggle with the lyrics more. I think music comes more organically to me. With lyrics, I have to really like allow the space for them to come through because, you know, I always have this idea in my head, like, well, I don't want to write crappy lyrics, you know, I want them to be meaningful, you know, but at the same time, I want to always serve the song, you know, and sometimes serving the song means, you know, lyrics that aren't so deep, you know, sometimes it's just, it is what it is. But it's interesting because, like I said, I have a mom who is a poet. And so anytime I write a song, like, you know, I always have to wait to see if I get a critique back from her.
Yeah, talk about voices in your head, right?
Well, and you want to talk about like the like, how does somebody, you know, have self-esteem issues? Like my mother was a model, not kidding, a model with a genius IQ who is a therapist and a poet.
Wow.
I mean, like, what could go wrong?
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with. That's for sure.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Should I do another song?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Because I know my friends are watching and I want to share all of you with my friends. It's kind of cool. I did a watch party. So it's showing up on my Facebook feed so that my friends, so you can say hi to my friends are watching too.
Hi.
Hi, Marcy's friends.
Yeah, so Marcy and I met online in the afternoons from 1 to 2 at a event called Sync Cafe. So it's music publishing business, information and networking and song pitching. And it's a really interesting site. And those of you who've been to my Second Sunday Songwriters events, we do a lot of workshops and activities and pitch sessions just based on trying to get ourselves ready or get our music into TV, film, and ads.
Yeah. And I said to my friends this afternoon, I said, because they're like, who's Carol Lester? Because I was talking about you on my live stream. And I said, do you remember that song from the Muppet movie? You know, there's not a word yet for old friends who've just met. I'm like, we haven't even met in person yet. But like she messaged me and was like, you know, do you want to blah, blah, blah? Why don't you give me a call? And I'm like, okay. And I think that was like a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, I was almost convinced we went to high school together. But anyway,
right. But we didn't.
I didn't like that I wore glasses in high school, so I didn't wear them. Yeah. So at my high school reunion, I kept bumping into people who were like, Carol, and unless you sat next to me, I really couldn't remember what you looked like. It was because I didn't wear my glasses.
I know what you mean. I you know, I'm a glasses wearer too, as you know, but I migrated over to contact lenses in 10th grade and it changed my life. Before then, I don't think I knew what any of my friends looked like.
Right. And I guess I must have been friendly because they remembered me.
Yeah.
Or some of them. You know, high school has a lot of cliques. We were a really nice suburb of Philadelphia, and let's just say my dad was a teacher, so we were not the family of the car dealership, the Lincoln car dealership, or I was not the dentist's daughter. We were quite middle class in a very hoity-toity high school.
This is why we get along. I totally relate to what you're saying.
And so I remember in ninth grade or eighth grade, I had a poetry teacher, and I really discovered what poetry was at that point. And I started writing music about that time too. So I'm going to write a song. So can you hear the guitar, James? Okay.
Yes.
So this song is again on the new album, because I'm hoping people will go take a look at it. Carol Lester. No one knows, but if you can see up there, it says carollester.com. And the album is there too. So I wrote this song. I had gone to my 20-year high school reunion and a Yes concert in the same weekend. So there are some influences here from both events. Here we go. Where am I going to put my guitar pick? I'll put it up there. I spent my finest times in the stairwell as the harmony rained down upon my head. Well, I sang in rounds of joy in the stairwell as the harmony rained down upon my head. Those moments stayed for years and saved my life in the stairwell as the harmony rained down upon my Where's my bass player? Did you ever wonder, are you really sure that the road not taken isn't on some guided tour? I slapped my dollar down and held on tight back through the reunion into suburban life. There but for the grace of taste, there but for the slower pace, there but for the fires we stoked, there but for the rules we broke, here but for their fear of strangers, and but for the all-night benders, there but for the city lights, there but for what felt more right. I wore my torn jeans, they wore their jewels, they paid $100. I slipped past the treasurer, I danced to Funky Town, they found their friends, glanced past in high school, now I'm ignored again. And I remember when the smokers thought I was too smart, the smart kids thought I was too fast, the art kids never looked up much, my boyfriend thought that we would last. I swore I had every chance, no one ever guessed I bloomed between the slanted shafts of sun on marbled steps. I spent my finest times in the stairwell as the harmony rained down upon my head. I sang in rounds of joy in the stairwell as the harmony rained down upon my head. Those moments stayed for years and saved my life in the stairwell as the harmony rained down upon my tan-tiled halls, green girls' room stalls, right, left, right, my locker calls. I felt so awkward and so perplexed. I smoked a lot of bus stop pot and had a lot of downstairs sex. I felt so lonely and so damn scared. Would there ever be a place for me in that world out there? Here I stand, flash forward 20 years on Ashbourne Lane to the country club that never threw me lunch or knew my name. term for show and tell. The simple treasures of my heart still don't fare too well. I spent my finest times in the stairwell as a harmony rained down upon my head. I sang in rounds of joy in the stairwell as the harmony rained down upon my head. Those moments stayed for years and saved my life in the stairwell as the harmony rained down upon my, I hear the harmony and it's raining down on me, and I hear the harmony raining down. I hear the harmony and it's raining down on me, and I hear the harmony rain. I hear the harmony and it's raining down. I hear the harmony raining down. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was a tell-all. I should have made pretend I wrote that about somebody else.
There's still time.
I know.
There's a delay.
This is a song. Actually, this is a song about my best friend in high school.
Yes.
And,
I love it, and I love that melody too. It almost reminds me of something that like Jefferson Airplane would have done too. Like it's really cool.
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, it's. I know that there's multiple schools about rhyming, but I rhyme, and I can spend entire days like Dr. Seuss, where I'm walking around and everything is rhyming.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Very cool.
That was a fun song to write and to play, and the whole experience of it. But I didn't sing that song when my daughter was growing up because I thought I would be a bad influence in her life. So so unfortunately, yeah, but so that's why I'm releasing it now. She's a grown woman. She's a very successful grown woman, so I don't have to worry about
That's
sending
there is the thing.
Sending messages of, oh, well, everybody experimented with things. Maybe I'll experiment too. So, okay, so maybe I was a liar as a parent, but I felt like it was my obligation, my responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, there's a lot of responsibility. It's the greatest responsibility you'll ever have is being a parent. And, and I think that children forget that their parents are people. Sometimes. So,
That's because a lot of times we don't act like it. But anyway.
There you go.
So, so Marcy, why don't you play us another song?
Sure. I wrote this one after, it's called After the Flood. So I don't think it needs a lot of explanation, but it's really more about the realization of when you think you've lost everything and realizing how much you truly have. And that's really the message of the song. So it talks about an incident, but it's really about the realization of how very rich my husband and I are in love and family and friends. So goes like this. When the water did retreat, left our bodies soaked with grief, as we watched our world events flow and still. There were tears that joined the rain We came undone, begged for the sun. We will rise up. We will rise up. We will rise up to the front. Where the soldiers stood up here, armed with kindness to heal me, and we toiled into the night that fell late. Tread the walls to the bone, friends remain not cornerstone. It was the greatest gift to never feel alone. The storm did end. It's time to land. We will rise up. We will rise up. We will rise up to the flood. Now the message is so clear. What remains is hope, my dears, and a home is not a place, but who you want it. We will rise up. We will rise up. We will rise up. We will rise up. We will rise up to the flood. 'Cause the water did retreat.
Beautiful. Do another one.
Okay, twist my arm. I'm going to do the one that I wrote after the flood, when we had like over $30,000 worth of damage, and the insurance company denied our claim and our appeal and paid nothing. Yay! So it goes like this. This is when my sarcasm, this is when my make lemonade out of lemons person I evoked to write this one. People in a boat trying hard to stay afloat in the midst of some nasty weather. They keep paddling along, but the wind gets way too strong, so they harbor and hold each other. Rise under so hazy, their outcome is a maybe. So baby, let's keep riding this storm. Two people up a tree climbed as high as they could see to find that the view's obstructed. So they found their descent, bound to try to stay instead. When they realized the ground's corrupted, rise on is so hazy. The outcome is a maybe. So baby, let's keep riding this storm. When we started, there were no guarantees, but your innocence was boundless. So for purpose it snowed. Those little guys, what matters to them is kindness. Two people on the land try to salvage what they can when the time comes to choose possessions. But the things they leave behind really only do remind them of what once was at their let's keep riding. Baby, let's keep riding this storm.
That was very upbeat. That was nice.
With sarcasm.
Oh, I didn't read it as sarcasm, but
Oh, it's so sarcastic.
I just thought you were just all of a sudden in such a good mood.
Oh, no. Two people in a boat trying hard to stay afloat in the midst of some nasty weather.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
keep paddling along, but the wind got way too strong, so they huddled and held each other.
Yeah, but the melody, I like that when a melody is upbeat and the words are, yeah.
Well, that I like to play with. I love doing things where like the melody is counter to the vibe. Like I love writing happy, sad songs and sad, happy songs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get to one of those. When I switch back my guitar tuning, I'll get to my favorite sarcastic song. I know Herbert was eating dinner. Are you ready to do a poem, or you need a couple more minutes?
I am. I'm ready. I have my strength back.
Oh, good. And heavenly shades of night is falling. It's cocktail
Ooh.
time.
What is that?
Into my glass, the vodka's pouring. It's cocktail time.
Is that a screwdriver?
No, it's I don't know what it is. It's got some orange 0-calorie soda and
Your own invention.
I need to keep my electrolytes up.
There you go.
That's hilarious.
All right, Herb Plummer.
All right. So this one is a little more polished, but still not quite finished. And I live in Hoboken, and every time I look out my window, where my desk is positioned, I see the brick building across the way, and there's a fire escape there. And occasionally someone will come out and smoke a cigarette. So I just kind of locked onto that fire escape one day, and I didn't really know what to write about. And I'd been feeling a little blocked. And I was like, I'm just going to start with that image and see where it takes me. So this is called Lucky. Every time I climb the fire escape ladder, it rattles, my body shifting with the weight of the iron, like the feeling of being blown about by the wind. And when I see her window 2 inches ajar, the candle on the sill lit and flickering, the sound of the shower like faraway rain, I know I will hoist my legs one by one onto the wood floor of her bedroom, scraps of moonlight still in my hair, a clean exhaustion in my lungs. I wait patiently, then sit listening to her body sing its sad songs. This has been our ritual for months, our flesh pressed together like Play-Doh, until I leave just before sunrise, pondering the parable of the lost sheep. Like that night, Lucky and I broke into an abandoned hotel while drunk, getting separated and hearing voices that I knew weren't his, lifting a palm in front of my face and seeing only darkness, feeling my way from room to room, my hands grasping at the walls the way an infant clutches its mother's hair. The sound of broken glass breaking again. For a moment, I saw my future drunk and squatting in the pitch black of an abandoned, rundown, empty hotel. I know that one day soon I will arrive to a pulled down shade and bolted lock, the light off, so that I will not see her, but only my own soft reflection staring back. There are moments in life when we run full force into things that have not asked for us, but find ourselves gently hoisted onto the shoulders of another. That night in the hotel, I lit a cigarette to find my way out of the darkness, following the tiny orange ember and the voice of my friend until I finally emerged from a low window and saw Lucky standing solidly on the ground, my hand reaching for his. Thank you.
Yeah, you paint you drew me right into that, the visual.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a wonderful book by the poet Richard Hugo called The Triggering Town. And he talks about how some poets are music-driven poets and others are image poets. And I think I've always been an image poet. I find music along the way, but it comes later. The images always are the thing that drives me first.
Well, I really, a lot of images popped up in my head during your poem. You took me right on a journey there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these days of babies and young children being bombarded with visual images before they have a chance to create them out of their own imagination. Like, I won't see a movie if I haven't read the book first, because I would rather have the movie play in my head as I'm reading it first. And so that was very beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm going to do a song that has images in it. This your poem inspired me to this song is called My Daddy's Coat. And actually it has been picked up by a music supervisor, Lynette Harrigan of LHM Media. And it's in her catalog with another song called Little Blue Sand Fairy, and she loves them, and she said she hopes to find a place for them in a film soon. So I'm hoping that she does. And this song is, my dad was very, very ill, and I was driving back and forth on the Jersey Turnpike, and my brother and sister were also on the weekends and different times, of those 6 months, driving across country. So this is called My Daddy's Coat. I put on my daddy's coat and took a walk down a live rock road. The children playing in piles of leaves were like we used to be. We tumbled outside after supper time, Barb and Rich, Buttercup and I. Mom threw breadcrumbs on the ground, Dad would whistle birds down. Our voices would soar in a silver line dark through the pinks and the blues, melting day into dark. The shades pull down, the days spin round, and where we land seems so far. We're all grown and scattered wide. We load the kids and drive hundreds of miles, take turns asleep the whole way back. Another weekend fades to black. I put on my daddy's coat to hug me close this last ride home. Pain will fade till only sweetness remains. The green highway signs gently crest and roll by the bristle-top trees of an etch-a-sketch sky. The shades pull down, the night spins round, and where we land seems so far. night spin, the world spins round, and where we land is where we began.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I think I want to make a T-shirt with. I drew that some of the songs I drew illustrations for, and I have a lyric book that I keep meaning to publish. And I want to do a T-shirt that has the drawing of the bristle-top trees of an Etch-a-Sketch sky.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a great line. Such a great line.
it's pretty vivid.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what should we do here? Should I do another song, or should we go around? What?
It's your. I'd love to hear another song. It's 8:30, just so you know, and I have
Okay.
30% left on my.
Okay. So what if I do another song,
Yeah.
and then Herbert does another poem, and then you do another song, and
Sure.
maybe two songs, and at that point,
I could do one.
oh, I really like your music. I like.
Oh, thank you.
I actually think it's better than Carole King's. Anyway, I don't want to say that because I love Carole King. We saw the Carole King show on Broadway, and we saw the Alanis Morissette show, and they were both fantastic.
Yeah.
I was very influenced by both of those women. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm going to play a song that on the album, No One Knows. That's the title of the album, and I'm Carol Lester. This song, every once in a while at these pitch meetings, someone will say they need something from the 90s or the early 2000s. This would be 2000s. I mean, that's when Jagged Little Pill came out, right?
It feels like forever ago.
Right.
And then I realized that 2000 was 20 years ago.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
As Joan Rivers said, time marches on. It marches on my face. That was
I know exactly my face, my back.
So this song, when you hear it on the album, it has these very distinctive harmonies, really like hooky, addictive harmonies. So you have to listen to the recording on the album. I love doing harmony. And Alanis Morissette, her harmonies are just, it's like a feast. Which is the melody, which is the harmony, which is the point and the counterpoint. So
Yeah.
So this song is called Silence Louder Than Screams. And a friend of mine was going through a very bad breakup, and she had just told me the story of what had happened that weekend. And I was playing in a place where there were mirrors in this coffee house, and I saw her sad crying face around the room, and I went home and wrote this song. I saw the pain in your red, white, and blue eyes met across the room. You were sinking back in your black leather chair. Mirrored walls reflected you everywhere. Red, puffy-eyed, angry color of my true love's words. White, like the death of our fantasy family world. Blue, we used to love to look in each other's clear blue eyes. Now they're streaming from the ashes of our white hot lives. What can you do when you love the one you hate? Where can you turn when you've been speeding headlong down an unlit highway? Are there survivors we can rip from the wreckage of our pain? What's left to say when our silence louder than our scream? Red, your warm arms pulsing on my naked breasts. White flashing headlights on the barren walls above our now empty bed. Blue, still waters run deep in your tired eyes. Now I sink into the bottom of our thickening lies. What can you do when you love the one you hate? Where can you turn when you've been speeding headlong down an unlit highway? Are there survivors we can rip from the wreckage of our pain? What's left to say when our silence louder than our scream? I saw the pain in your red, white, and blue eyes. Met across the room, you were sinking back in your black leather chair. Mirrored walls reflected you everywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you. So if you have something terrible you're going through in your life that you would like in a song, just let me know.
Good to know.
Yeah. So that's called Silence Louder Than Screams. And it's, yeah. So Marcy, oh wait, who was going to go next? What should we do? Marcy, why don't you go next since you're running out of time on your Cinderella pad over there?
Well, I'm thinking since my Cinderella pad, I'm going to do a song called Breathe. That is sort of appearing inside of my brain when I'm having a bad day. You did it again. Invited demons in to stir that stew that's simmering inside your cluttered head. You skipped a trial, guilty as charged. Oh, free is when you quiet that voice and breathe. Oh, free is when you quiet that voice and breathe. You're at it again, waltzing with that charming, beautiful heart, who charms you with a flash of teeth and guile. You bore your soul, you gave up everything, all free is one new quiet that goes and breathe. Oh, free is one new quiet that goes and breathe. I forgive you. I forgive you. Step off that ledge. Give thanks instead. And breathe. You had a good day. You buried the last ravaged bag of swords and salvaged truth and ashes from the grave. You shared the spark and it came back to you, all free is one new quiet that voice and breathe. Oh, free is one new quiet that voice and breathe. Oh, free is one new quiet that voice and breathe.
All right. Uh-oh, I think I might have knocked myself off the screen.
Now you're here. I see you.
Okay.
Oh, now you're gone.
Uh-oh.
There you are.
Here I am.
You're back.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Thank you.
So now, do you have an album coming out, or you're mostly doing film and TV now?
I just released. Here, I'm going to show you my anthology here. So I just released this one in January. This one just came out. And then right before that, I did I did my own anthology of never released and hard to find songs. I think this one was released in December, and then this one was released in 2019, April. So
Nice. You're
yeah,
very
so
prolific.
well, that's like my blessing and my curse is that I write so much that it's very hard to keep up with myself because I love writing, but the discipline of getting into the studio and producing it is not my strong point. So I'm in the midst of recording a new song, and I actually had intended to do my next Kickstarter in March and start recording the new album in April, but then this little virus took over our entire planet. So I decided to just let the wave take me where the wave is taking me.
Okay.
So yeah, there'll be albums. I'm sure there'll be albums plural coming out.
So I'm gonna do a cover. Today was a beautiful sunny day.
Yes.
But there's been a lot of rain. I really enjoyed today. So only love the shore. Only love can bring the rain, like the sweat of lovers laying in the fields. Love, rain over me, rain over me. Only love can bring the rain, makes us yearn on high. Only love can bring the rain that falls like tears from the sky. Love, rain over me, rain over me. Love, rain over me, rain over me. Thank you. I didn't do the long and dusty road part of that song because it opens it up too much. It's like, on that long and dusty road. It's like a drinking song in the middle of like yeah, that's
It
fun.
totally worked.
That's fun with the band too. And if I can remember the chords, then I go. No, wait a minute. It's oh no. Anyway, I enjoy singing that song.
Fun. Totally.
Yeah. So do you want to do one more song, Marcy?
And sure.
And
Why
then I'll
not?
close us out with a song. And so, Marcy, I was so glad we met. I do feel like we've known each other for a long time, and I'm happy to introduce you. Very talented
Thank you.
songwriter, published performing songwriter with songs in TV and film, prolific songwriter, daughter of a poetess.
Yes, daughter of a poetess and a mortgage broker slash thought he was, my dad thinks that he always thinks he's a talent scout. When I was a kid, he'd come home and say, I saw this new singer and she's going to be the next big thing. And it was like, Carly Simon.
Yeah, well.
He had good taste. Anyway, I wrote this song a few years ago when I was running in my neighborhood, and I heard bagpipes. And I realized it was March, and that I hadn't gotten killed and gone to heaven, that it was actually somebody practicing actual bagpipes in a park in my neighborhood. And it appears on my album Square Peg. And I was very blessed to have the amazing, legendary singer-songwriter Lori Lieberman sing this song with me. So today you'll just have to tolerate me by myself. Just outside my window, there's a world that's shining brightly. But the only thing that shines me on a shadow. Right away to goodness, when my body thrown on hold. Beside the constant hammer of myself down. I searched high up and low, lost my savior on the road. Knowing all that is music that will save me. shirt that reminds me of a moment when life used to. But the truth is just an angle that turn last people says, and the only one to steer it is the money. I searched high up and low, lost my savior long ago. Now I know that it's music that will save me. All the birds of mine and be home upon creation. As I grapple with this movie, there's wonder and surprise. I wonder if the message is the compromise. Cause it turned into a romance between me and the unknown. Perhaps these circumstances are the cornerstone. I searched high up and low, must I say not go? Do I know that it's music that saves me? I searched high up and low, must I say long ago? Do I know that it's music that will save me? I know that it's music that has saved me. Thank you.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
So we'll have to meet in person one of these days.
Yes, when we're allowed to.
Right.
Someday.
And I think
Someday when it's safe.
yeah, and I think also we might do a re-record in Instagram sometime during the week as well.
I would love to do that. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, once I heard your material, I was like, ooh, I want to share Marcy with my music-loving friends.
And I feel the same way. I'm like, we've got a lot of people watching here on the watch party, which is kind of cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's I'm gonna do, if I can remember the words. Here we go. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. See, it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yes, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. Please don't hesitate. Oh, it's getting late. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yes, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. And if you're looking down, take a good look around. Put a little love in your heart. We want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yes, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and our hearts.
Amen.
Dolly
Amen.
Parton.
I wanted to sing, but then I'm like, I know that it's like there's a delay, and I didn't want to like screw it up on the
Well, we could have tried it. Dolly Parton is like a saint. She really is. She's a beautiful songwriter. Yeah.
Yeah. I could have played piano on it. We could have like had a band.
I know. We got to figure out how to be able to jam live together.
I know. I've been told there's like a delay here. We can do one verse, and then the people can tell us if it's together or not.
All right, you go.
2, 3, 4. Da, da, da. You do it with me. 2, 3, 4. Right? Just what you did, the song that you just did.
Yeah, so everybody who's watching on Facebook Live or wherever you are, let us know. Could you hear the piano and the guitar together, or were we like
I only heard me, but that could have been just
I
me
heard us
here.
both, but I
Okay.
don't know if anybody heard us. Put a little love in your heart. Hi, Joshua. Oh, and Marilyn. Hey, Deirdre.
So I had this conversation earlier in the day, and it seems that when it's 2 people, it sort of works. But when you add 3 people, that's when it gets funky.
So as two people, why don't we do a verse of that together?
Yeah, the
Fine.
trick is one person sort of has to listen to the other, but I think you both are pretty good with that.
You
All right.
count it off because you know the song, and I'm gonna just tinkle. I mean, not pee, but
Yeah, okay. You do that.
It's not that kind of show, is it? Okay, anyway, sorry.
Yes, not tickle the ivories.
All right. 1, 2, 3, and. Good fellow man, lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. So I don't think we're hearing each other. Yeah, the first
What would
time
happen is as soon as I would play, I would see you playing.
Oh no,
I
don't
would
look.
only
Just
hear
listen.
you when I stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, don't look. There is a visual delay. So don't let that confuse you.
No, but I wouldn't hear you. I would just, as soon as I play, you cut out.
Oh, okay.
Because you know what it does? It does the presenter thing. I don't know. This is probably boring for people that are watching.
We'll
but-
talk about this afterwards. I want to
Yes.
thank Marcy Geller. I want to thank you for singing and playing with me today.
It was such a fun time.
And Herb Plummer, our poet from the day.
Great stuff. Yeah.
Really beautiful poetry.
Great poetry.
And we've got like friends online. Next time, some of my poet and songwriter friends who came onto Facebook, you should come on to Zoom and we'll pull you up for a song. So I just want to thank everybody. This is really something else. Offline, I heard that Tommy Parisi's son needs plasma, and he's down in the Jersey Shore area, and I'm also now down in the Jersey Shore area. So if they'll accept my plasma, I'll go. But I just saw a post. So online, let's do prayers, okay? And offline, if you would let me know, I only saw one little thing, but no details. Let me know who to call or what to do, or if I can post something down here on Nextdoor. In this neighborhood, which all surrounds that hospital where I think he is. So from my heart to your heart, I love you very much. I miss you very much. And I will see you in the springtime, in the summer, on Zoom, on Facebook, on Instagram. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Carol Lester and Marcy Geller.
Bye, everybody.